More head for you, the better. Nothing? You got nothing?
I never know when you're rolling.
I'm rolling right now.
Well, that's why I'm not reacting.
So you are one of these. Mike Garafolo is with us, his weekly visit. It's brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance and also Zogs on Fox Island. They are the best. They love you to death. They can't wait for you to come out. Hartley and Hartley Insurance, family-owned, second-generation independent insurance agency that's been servicing the Puget Sound area since 1978. They promise honesty, fairness, integrity, all the things that Mike Garafolo stands for. You can contact Jamie Hartley at 253-565-8700. Like Mike, though, get him if he's not playing golf. Also, Zogs on Fox Island, great place to grab a cold beer, watch the game, hang out with friends. New spring and summertime hours at Zogs, Monday through Thursday, 3 to 10. Friday through Saturday, 12 to 10, Sunday, 12 to 9. Visit Zogs on Fox Island, Facebook, Instagram for more information. So, Andrew and Jamie, both golfers like yourself, okay? So I'm interested. You're dressed, for those watching on YouTube and pucksports.com, those listening, you just have to, I'm going to paint the picture for you. He's got his Callaway hat on. He's got his Nike, kind of a beautiful green and blue golf T-shirt on. Now, you said you were going to play 9, but you just hit a bucket of balls, right?
Yeah, because the timing wasn't going to work out. The timing wasn't going to work out very well. Nice. Timing wasn't going to work out very well with this because I needed to get this knocked out because I couldn't remember. Like, we've been all over the place, I feel like, and I was like, oh, is it 1 o'clock? Is it 3 o'clock my time? And you were like, no, it's 1. We can move it. And I was texting you at 5:30 your time or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I was on the West Coast last week, so I understand that living in different times of the day is almost like living in different countries. But anyway, I know what you're driving at. Go ahead. Speaking of driving, go ahead, go for it.
Are you one of these guys?
Yeah.
That dresses up when, like, you're playing golf when you go to the driving range.
Yeah, and I wear my golf shoes. I don't wear sneakers. I practice like I play. Right?
Okay.
That's part of it. And
can I ask why? Why do you do that?
Why do I do that?
Yeah.
Because, and I put my Oakley sunglasses that I have that are prescription specifically for golf. I wear them while I'm hitting balls because you practice like you play. I'm around enough professionals, right? It's part of the process. Like Kobe Bryant and the way that he did things in practice. Michael Jordan, these guys, there's a couple of basketball analogies for you. They did it a certain way because now when you're in the game, and I don't mean to make it sound like I'm playing for some dough here, but when you're in the game and it's exactly as you prepared for it to be, you don't just hang around these guys and don't listen and don't pick up things as you go along. This is what I do. So you practice like you play. So I get dressed. I don't put on some gym shorts and a cutoff T-shirt, sleeveless T-shirt, whatever you call it.
So you're not like me, where I go to the driving range. Sometimes I'll go barefoot or in flip flops.
No,
so you won't do that.
That is horrible.
Now,
is horrible.
Now, are you an earbud guy?
Yes, I had them in today. Now that's the only thing I break from. But that's only because there's so much and it's not noise, like distracting noise. It's just I don't want to hear people. Like I don't want to hear you. So the earbuds were in. The 90s alternative playlist was playing. Oh. That's the only thing that I break from. Although, depending on who I'm playing with, I will play music in the car while we're playing.
Well, that's mandatory. I mean, do you have friends or people you play with that don't want music?
No, I don't think anybody's patently against it. I just don't think there are certain people that don't go out of their way. But, I played Trump International when I went down to Palm Beach a couple of weeks ago. A friend of mine has a connection there, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna play Trump International." Which, do you want to hear the Donald story? I can tell you that.
Yeah, of course I want to. Yeah, absolutely.
So, we're we get up to the first tee, and I'm like, "This guy's like a real estate investing type dude," and I'm like, "Oh, is he gonna be uptight?" And he get up there, lights the cigar, music goes on. I'm like, "This is great, awesome." It's like it just the whole round. You it doesn't matter if you play poorly.
Yeah,
it's much better than I expected. So anyway. I go early with my friend. We're sitting there on the patio, and he goes, "I don't think the big guy's here today, right?" And I go, "How you figure?" He goes, "Well, look, there's no action around the patio." And I go, "Okay." So he goes, 5 minutes later, he goes, "You know what? I take it back." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "See that guy there scoping out the patio? He'll be here any minute now." And not 5 minutes after that, 10 golf carts in a single file line come up 18. Okay?
That's great.
Like, there he is. So he plays 18. He comes off, and there's a high school golf team that's waiting for him. He says hello. He takes a picture. And he drives by the patio and he waves to everybody.
Yeah.
And then we're going out to play, and I'm on one. My buddy goes, we need a drink. So he goes out with another guy, and I'm there with the guy who was hosting us, and I'm killing time. And so finally he comes out. He goes, sorry, was in there strategizing with 45, soon to be 47, because we're in the middle of Florida here, so they're all, let's go. I'm like, he says, yeah, he's just sitting in there having lunch, and every time he sees me, he waves to me, and he goes, like he knows me.
Yeah.
It's funny, because when I get close, he just confuses me for his buddy. So, I was like, he doesn't have anything that, like, he's running for president. Again,
just playing golf, though. It's just like, just playing golf, having a good time. Lighting a cigar, getting a cocktail after the round, maybe a club sandwich. Come on.
God bless. And then we go to the locker room afterward. And, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, Clint Eastwood, like all the names are just, and there's his locker with all the club championships, which he won.
But he's notoriously a cheater, right? That's the story on him, that he cheats all the time. Yeah.
So he already won this year, not only the club championship, but not only senior club championship, but the regular club championship. Yeah. And there's a gap from like 99 to 2011 where he didn't win anything, which I don't know the story. Like, why did he go in a dry spell there? Yeah. But you're right. The guy I was playing with said he had a caddy previously who told him, like, he hit his ball into the water on a par 3. So he grabs the ball, and this is what they do. It's like if it's in the woods, they grab it and they just chuck it toward the fairway. So he grabs the ball and he throws it, and it hits a sprinkler head, and it goes on the green, and it's rolling. And he's going, oh God, no, and boom, in the hole. 0-1.
He's like, you know what he is? He's Judge Smales. He's Danny in Caddyshack. That's what he is, right? That's exactly what he is. I love it. Yeah, good for him. So how'd you play? Was it a fun course?
No, it was my first time out, and my buddy who used to live in Jersey now lives down there full time. Hit me with the old, you Northeasterners think you could just come down here and start swinging a club in March after not swinging it since November. And I was like, oh, us Northeasterns, yeah. So it was not great. And then I've been playing pretty consistently since then. It's been getting better. I've been taking lessons, which I've never done before, which I don't know why I waited till 43 to take lessons. So it's been tracking better. I just have to find a way to swing the club in the winter, which is hard because of my schedule and the weather around here, but I'm going to try to make it happen.
Okay, last thing, because you're full attire in the driving range. God, you don't know how much I rant and rave about you people. But are you sticks guy? Do you have the sticks out?
Sticks? Cigars?
The alignment sticks.
Oh, no. I've been known to do it. There are good drills that teach you how to come down on path, like you put it in your
Sure.
See, that's the other reason. Whatever. Put a word in there for you right now. If you have belt loops, you can put the alignment stick through the loops.
You're trying to say like a fat ass? Is that what you were trying to say to me?
No, I was going to call you a jabroni, but
jabroni.
Something to throw back at you because you're making fun of me. But like, if you have belt, like if you go in gym shorts, you don't have belt loops. If you go in these shorts that I'm wearing, these penguin shorts, they got belt loops, so you can put the alignment sticks through there, and it helps you with the.
I got you.
Turn. See?
Okay, I'm in. I'm all in. All right, you want to talk football draft? I want to thank you again. Feels like a year ago. Last Thursday, it was amazing. We had, for people who don't know, Mike was inside the war room at the NFL Network studios in Los Angeles talking picks and trades and all that. It was awesome, dude. Mike, we had like total was like over 10,000 people watched that.
Nice.
That was just, remarkable.
Great.
It was so much fun. So thank you again for that. That was really cool.
You got
okay, final few days happen. Give me just a takeaway overall from the draft. Who are the teams you liked, the picks you liked, and then we'll get to the Seahawks in a quick second.
I'm going to sound like I'm buttering up the home crowd here, but I did like what the Seahawks did with Byron Murphy. I was told, it's always great when you're told something and it actually winds up happening.
Yeah.
16 was the backstop for Byron Murphy. Like, that's it. Okay, all right, we'll see. and then he goes like 25th or something like that. So he went 16. It's like, oh, okay, cool. That was something I was told pre-draft, which actually panned out, which was good. They didn't have to move anywhere. The draft kind of came to them, which leads me to the other pick that I like, which was the Eagles with Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah.
The way that one, because they were, which is another guy, by the way, that was on the Seahawks radar, from what I understand. I like the Murphy over Mitchell. I understand why he has the potential to be a game wrecker there. But Mitchell would have been a great pick too, but they did like him as well. And the Eagles were calling ahead of time, which the longer you do this, the more drafts you cover, the more you realize teams calling doesn't mean they're actually going to trade up. And I've thrown enough of those out there like, hey, this team is burning, and they don't move. Because in this case with the Eagles, and I talked to them after, the draft kind of came to them. They were like, we don't have to move, right? We're sitting here looking for help at the cornerback position. Quarterbacks and offensive players are like, why would I move up? Nobody's moving either. There was no real great rush to make this happen, so they kind of let it come to them. So those are the two that stick out in my mind that I think are going to be absolute. Like, there's no – there are others that – like Latu could be a great pick. You know, but there's a reason that he lasted as long as he did. The medicals, and some teams were good with it, some teams weren't. As far as Murphy and Mitchell go, like, those are the ones you can lock in and say, in 5 years, we're going to be like, yeah, we knew immediately those are going to be great.
Hey, do you know if the Seahawks had Latu off their board because of the medicals?
I don't know that. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, since it was in Washington, if they used the same guys, and because Washington failed him, and then he ends up going to UCLA, if there was any thought process on there. If he was there at 16, would they have taken him?
I don't know. I mean, again, what I was told pre-draft was Murphy was a guy that they were highly interested in. And if he got to them, which is why we entertained the thought of like, hey, would they trade up pre-draft? And that's just not what they do. And they didn't do it. And it came to them. It worked out perfectly.
Surprised they didn't at some point get a quarterback.
No, I didn't get the sense that they were hot for any of these guys in this draft. You know, Penix is going to be the big surprise. It was nowhere near them. I still don't think they would have at 16. We'll never know. But no, I didn't really get the sense that they were eager to grab a quarterback here. They like what they have right now, which again is kind of like you're in this zone of, Geno is good and he's been able to do what you need to do. And you got Sam Howell. It's like, are these guys going to win you a Super Bowl? I don't know. At some point, you got to swing big. Maybe next year will be that year, but I don't think this is going to be a bad team where all of a sudden they're going to be in position. They're going to have to make this stuff happen eventually.
One of your good buddy James Palmer said that he had, I think on draft night, said, hey, there were several teams that tried to move up, including Seattle to get him. Do you know how aggressive maybe that they were to try to move up or no?
I don't believe that. When was I don't believe that.
Poor James Palmer. God, James.
No. Well, but he was not the only one that was told that.
I know.
Right? And listen, they may have made calls to be like, hey, what's it going to take to get up there? I know that they were kind of curious. That they thought there was going to be a lot of movement ahead of them, and there wasn't. Right. And so at that point, it was kind of like, just like the Eagles, where they expected a lot of movement. There wasn't. And okay, let it come to us. I didn't get the sense that they were ever really going to make a strong move for Michael Penix.
And they really just didn't have much capital anyways. They didn't have a lot to even part with if they wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, you could always make it happen if you wanted to, if you're that badly, which is going back to the Penix thing and the Falcons taking him. All this talk that we're coming up with right now, and I'm not saying it's not relevant or not worth discussing, but if Michael Penix in 5 years is a first-team All-Pro quarterback, none of this is going to matter. Okay, none of it's going to matter. The problem is we can't just pause the conversation until then.
Okay, so has your opinion changed on it? Like, do you understand more? I can't even remember when we did it on Thursday night what your reaction was. Well, I mean, this was funny because we were literally talking about it before. I think we parted there for a little bit. And I had asked you, would Atlanta consider him at number 8? And you're like, well, maybe, yeah. But hey, remember they got Kirk Cousins. And then I forgot that they had Kirk Cousins. I totally blanked on it. I was like, oh, that's right. Well, and then I was like, well, then there's no way that they're going to draft Michael Penix. And you're like, well, no. I mean, they still could. And then they did.
We talked about it on the show earlier that day with Steve Weiss, NFL Draft Kickoff. And we talked about the possibility of them coming away with a quarterback, maybe Penix. And what I said was I did not expect that it would happen at 8, because my understanding was that would be a potential slide back scenario, which there were teams in the teens who flat out told me we're not taking Penix there. Maybe later if we trade back or, trade back into the first round or something like that. So the word I was told by a Falcons source that it was in play. Like quarterback is in play. Just letting you know, quarterback's in play. Like Penix, quarterback's in play. Like wasn't willing to tell me a whole lot. And I was like at 8, and he's like, nah, I don't think so at 8. And it wound up being at 8 because, again, going back to what I said, like no one's going to care that you took him early. No one's going to care that you took him when Kirk Cousins was there if he pans out in the long run. And so who was it? Somebody had said something at some point about, because I talked about the possibility of the Broncos trading back and then grabbing Bo Nix and getting something while they move back, because nobody else at that point was really going to take Bo Nix. And it's like, you don't mess around. When it's your quarterback, you think this guy could be your starter, you take him, you don't mess around.
So how does Atlanta massage that moving forward? Like how do you deal with Kirk Cousins? I mean, you can understand why he and his camp are upset about it. And
yeah,
how do you, if you're that new coaching staff, that GM, that owner, how do you smooth it over with him?
You basically go back to and in talking to people around Kirk, I got the same response. It was like, well, what option does he have? Like, what alternative does he have other than the play? He can't intentionally play poorly. That'll be the end of his career. Like, he has to go out and he has to play well. So in the end, you kind of got him by the whats, because that's the only choice that he really has at this point. And so you work through it. You hope he plays well. If he doesn't play well, you know that there's going to be a clamor for Penix. When you bring that guy in, you kind of have that reality being a part of what you do. The good news for them is they're not in a particularly tough division. So you would imagine that they should be on the cusp of the playoffs, if not in the postseason. But I do go back to this with Kirk. Go back to Washington. I mean, it was uncomfortable situations, even to the point where Bruce Allen, the one time where they didn't reach a long-term deal with him, called him Kurt. We tried to reach a long-term deal with Kurt, and it was like, so he's dealt with it before of a different variety. Yeah. Let's see how he handles this time.
Well, one thing that I don't think we all cannot imagine this happening, kind of what Roethlisberger happened with right, was it Pickett or was it, who am I blanking, where he wouldn't take him under his wing, or was it the quarterback before that? He's going to take Penix under his wing, right? I mean, he's not going to ignore him. And he's not going to pull one of these veteran things where he's like, oh, I'm not going to show you the ropes. Who was Roethlisberger? Was that with him, or was that with the Oklahoma State quarterback? Who was?
It was probably with Mason Rudolph. Yeah,
Rudolph. That's right.
Pickett came in the year they needed a quarterback, so it was Mason Rudolph. Yeah.
But Cousins' personality is he's going to show Michael Penix the ropes.
Cousins is very interesting to me because he doesn't look like he has that edge to him. He's got the whole dad vibes going on. So he looks like a guy that wouldn't necessarily relate to the rest of the locker room. And he's the whole religious thing. Like, do you have that whole edge when you got that whole edge? But he does. And it's really one of the more fascinating things about covering these guys is, like, they're so accommodating and nice off the field sometimes. And you're like, how does this person want to knock that other guy's head right off his body? But he does. And that's just where it comes out. It's an interesting aspect of human nature that they still have not quite figured out. You never know it till you see it in action sometimes.
Okay, there's just keeps being more smoke with this Jamal Adams stuff. Okay, there's like another report that came out here recently, like within the last week, was ESPN.com, I think, that they may consider him at weak side linebacker, bringing him back. Are you hearing any are you hearing anything where the Seahawks are close to bringing him back or wanting to bring him back? Or is this just like, just Rumorville? Please let it be Rumorville.
49. I'm just trying to see all these reports. I don't know. I mean, I haven't asked specifically. I'm going to have to ask specifically. The Niners are keeping in touch with Jamal Adams.
Niners have apparently have reached out. And I look at the weak side linebacker spot for the Seahawks. I'm like, why do they need him? They don't really need him there.
I mean, he's still got the capability of being a good player at that position, right? Yeah. He's still got a little bit of good football left if you play him in the right role. So, there was a lot There's a lot of baggage last
There
year,
is
wasn't there?
a ton of baggage.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see, and I think I wouldn't want to put a new coaching staff. I think kind of saddled with him and having to deal with him. Hey, did you see this? The not the offensive coordinator, the special teams coordinator for the Steelers. When he just
Yes.
throws it out. Yeah, we're
I love it.
We're gonna try Justin Fields returning kicks.
Well, who
what are we doing?
did he say it, or did one of the players say it?
It was the player said it. Whoever the player was said it in a podcast.
Right.
But
yes.
it was him relaying the story that the special teams
That he
coordinator
said, he
told
just-
it to him in a meeting.
Yeah. I'd love to hear Justin Fields' reaction to that. Has he tweeted anything at this point, or
I don't know.
Because it's almost, it's kind of like, Tim Tebow all over again, where it's like, well, we use him somewhere other than, and the Tebow defender, he's a quarterback. You can use him as a tight end or a fullback or this.
Fields is more of a quarterback than Tebow ever was, right?
Oh, I know that. I know that. But I wonder when they start to hear this, it's like, do they take it as an insult, right? Like that you don't think I'm capable of playing the quarterback position.
I would.
I'd have to check with the people around. I just saw that this morning, just as I was getting to the driving range and putting my alignment sticks down.
He's just such a dork. I mean, you're the guy that sits like in the back of your car, like putting on the shoes and clanking them out to get all the grass out to go hit balls.
No.
You hitting off? Do you hit off grass there or mats?
It's a mat, and it's got the automatic ball comes up, which is awesome. Which is just like I don't have to bend over and put a ball down out of a bucket. I don't have to go get the bucket.
That place is ridiculous. That's awesome. I've never even seen that.
And it's got the shot tracer, so I can see where the ball's going, and it's showing me all this kind of stuff, which is incredibly accurate.
Okay.
Even like their balls are the golf balls. The golf balls. Yes. The practice balls.
Yes.
And I can hear it coming off the club. It's a lot lighter, it seems like.
They're restricted flight, all of them.
Yeah, I know, but it's weird how you hit a ball and it'll kind of right or left or whatever. Yeah. Sometimes you'll hit one, and I don't know if it's like a lopsided ball or something, but it's straight, and then as it's on the descent, it'll kind of.
I don't know what those things are.
I don't know what the feedback, and the shot tracer will pick it up too.
Oh, really?
I don't know what the feedback on that is supposed to be. You just got a messed up ball that you hit there, or is it part of the shot? And it just took a while for that ball. I just think
you got a messed up. You got a messed up practice ball is what you got. Travis Kelce, he signed that 2-year extension. God, he's 11 years in the league. So, 13. That's it. We assume that's it. 13 years and he'll hang it up.
Yeah, I think he's getting close. I mean, he's lost a step. He's not the same kind of guy, but he's so smart, and the two of them play that street ball, him and Mahomes. So they're capable of still having incredible production as they go forward. But yeah, I think that's about right. Now, good for him to kind of get. I don't know if we've seen the full details yet, but good for him to get his fair value, because the deal he signed before that, whew, like he got $30 million guaranteed in that deal, and he had like 24 on the books already, or 23 in the books, and it was kind of like they were not cutting Travis Kelce. Like, what? Why did you one of those? And it's what he wanted, and Mahomes took a below market deal, and they were willing to kind of do that stuff to keep this thing moving forward and free up some money moving forward. So all the credit to them for that, but that deal was man, and it didn't help the tight end market. Gronk and Kelce didn't help the tight end market, because all these other guys were trying to get. Kittle was, trying to set the new number. It's like this tight end number is so far down compared to other positions there. So good on him for getting his fair value this time around.
But that should be celebrated, I think. I mean, I get trying to set the market, but what it tells me is that they want to win.
I know, but I go back and forth on that because,
how much is enough though?
I get that. But the counter to that is these billionaires, you're letting them keep it in their pockets, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I go, all right, you know what? Screw that. No, get it. And then I go, and one of the things, and I had this conversation with an agent who had a quarterback who did a deal over the last year. I'll say that much. And I said, because he kind of wants to take less, a little Mahomes, Brady-ish or whatever. He goes, but we've had the conversation with him that, can you trust these owners that okay, well, I'm only going to take so much. I'll leave a little bit more. They can tell you they're going to spend it, and then they don't spend it. And it's like, well, you just let them hold on to this money. It didn't help your team, and you didn't get your fair value. I was like, I get that part of it as well. So, yeah, I kind of go back and forth. That's a lot of trust to place in ownership. And
I get it.
You know, when Tom Brady did it, TB12 had its own place in Patriot Place. You know, like there was other business angles where he could recoup the money related to Robert Kraft and everything that was happening there. So it was kind of like a give and take, I think, at that point.
You're the best. Go hit him straight next time, and at that practice range session. Now? Last question for you. Do you videotape yourself?
I've done that before, yeah. But now I'm to the point where I can feel it. Like I know off the, which is good. It's a good feeling.
Yes,
right?
it is.
To be like,
great.
I know it's like before. I don't even have to look at the ball. I can feel like my issue that I really struggle with from time to time is the hands are coming ahead of the body. So if I'm all in tune, fine, everything. Yeah. But I get this grab that freaking club and just and the hands are coming. And so I hit it, and I'm like, I know it's hitting. I don't even want to watch it hit. It's
another worm, another worm burner. That's what I know.
No, it'll go. Oh. It'll go. But it's like, and I feel it, and I'm like, stop doing that. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. So
it's a maddening sport, isn't it? God, it's maddening. All right.
Yeah, but it's great. Like the buddy that I played with played in Florida, played college ball or college golf, and he's incredibly good. Like just amazingly consistent. Like there is not his bad shot is like, come on, dude, really? Like that's what you think. It's
a great shot.
And I said to him one time, he's teeing off on a par 3, and it's just off the club, just the most beautiful shot, right? It's just tracking toward the pin. And I go, as the ball's in the air, do you ever get tired of hitting great golf shots? He kind of watches it go down, and he goes, nope, never. And he just walks away. I was like, okay, all right.
That's the best. Mike Garafolo, every Thursday, brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance. Again, family owned. Contact Jamie Hartley, 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island. Great place to grab a cold beer and watch the game. Visit their Facebook page, also Instagram for more information. Please, on YouTube, like and subscribe. Leave a comment also on the podcast. They are on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. All right, Mikey G, until next week. Thanks, sir.